So yeah, Apple just bought Dark Sky, but no one is really sure how much they paid for them. Everyone's trying to figure out how much they sent over to Dark Sky to completely take over the company, but it's very simple. Just go to the App Store, look up Dark Sky, it's $3.99. Okay, it's only $4 and you get to cancel the entire Android version. And that's the closest thing you're gonna get to an April Fool's joke today. Let's begin. So yeah, of all the savage things Apple has ever done, this one's up there. This is really high. There's been some mean things they've done to make things harder for their competitors or harder for anyone who chooses to not use an iOS device. And for the record, let me just get my opinion out of the way. I don't think this is a great move. I am a huge Apple sheep. I'm a huge fan of Apple products, but I do not have any pleasure in Apple making it harder for you Android users out there. I know there's actually quite a bit of you that watch my videos, and just for the sake of live and let live, I think this is kind of mean what Apple did, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So in case you're unaware of the situation, they bought the Dark Sky app, and yes, in all transparency, we don't know what they paid for it. I'm guessing in the billions of dollars, but it's a very popular weather app that's been available on iOS, Android for a long time with very, very accurate weather data tracking. So giving people alerts like a few minutes before rain begins and giving you like geographic data of showing where the rain's gonna hit or diagrams to when to expect rain. So basically it's just kind of weather turned up to 10, and it does cost money. Like I mentioned, it's not a free weather app, which is why you should expect the data and the company to go a little bit further in research to figure out how the weather is going to behave, and Apple purchasing it and leaving it up on the App Store currently unchanged definitely has some people speculating on why Apple would make this purchase, and more importantly, why would Apple cancel the Android version and the Wear OS version? I mean, no one really cared about the Wear OS, come on. But the other huge impact this has is that a lot of other Android weather apps that people enjoy using relies on the API that Dark Sky has created, and due to this buyout, Dark Sky is saying that they're going to stop letting that API be accessible by the end of 2021, and currently they're not going to allow anyone else to sign up, which means that you're using the API from Dark Sky before, you still have access to it until the end of next year, and then the API is going to go away, and basically Apple will have exclusivity over this weather API and their whole data and research and everything. So why do I think this is mean? Why do I think this is rude? Well, considering that there are people that paid for the Dark Sky app. There's a version of the app that even has a subscription model, and not to mention that, yeah, they're removing it from the Android Play Store and everything, but people spent money on this program so that they can use it, and they supported this brand so that they could continue to utilize these great weather features into the future. And now that's being taken away from them because they decided not to buy an iPhone. That's kind of mean. That's kind of rude. And I think it would have been way nicer and probably sent a much more friendly message if Apple decided, you know what, we're going to buy this weather company, but they can continue supporting the API to other people, or they can keep the Android app on the Play Store. That's fine. If people want to use Dark Sky on a different device, like, why not let them? Well, there's definitely a few theories I have. For one, it's that Apple could be doing something similar to Dark Sky, and because they're so good at it and Apple has a ton of money, they're able to buy out that company and integrate its technology into iOS or into potentially some type of service, because Apple is definitely moving more towards services between Apple News Plus, Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, you know the whole spiel. And the fact that Dark Sky has gotten a lot of people to justify paying monthly for a weather app or paying that initial upfront cost of $3.99 shows that there is a little bit of consumer demand, there is a little bit of interest in paying a little bit extra so you have really, really detailed weather analytics. And once Apple sees that potential, and as Apple wants to move more towards services, maybe they're planning some type of Apple weather subscription service or something to incentivize people to sign up with some type of recurring payment. It more than likely would not be like a $5 a month or $10 a month subscription, probably something really small, or it's possible that they just want to integrate this into the iOS weather app, and because Apple wants to prioritize, you know, we have the best data, we have the best analytics for when it comes to weather prediction and stuff, and we don't want the competitors to have that edge, that also goes to suggest the idea that maybe Apple is working on just revamping the default iOS weather app, and they don't want other competitors to have the same advantage they do with that. So there was a concept posted on Twitter by Parker, which I appreciate making this concept because it looks really legit and it looks awesome, so feel free to drop him a follow. below, but it kind of gave you that idea on what Apple might be planning for like a certified weather app, or in my opinion, it's possible that if they're seeing revenue generated by Dark Sky, Apple wants a piece of that cake, so they're going to buy out the company and turn it into recurring revenue model. And because Apple has so much insane marketing power and so much brand loyalty with their audience, they will probably get a lot of people to sign up for it that wouldn't have heard of Dark Sky originally. I never heard of them before today because I just use the default weather app on my phone and it's fine. I don't really have any complaints with it, though I do guess it's not very good at predicting the weather. You know, a lot of the time it's like, oh, it's gonna rain, and then it doesn't. But I don't know if Dark Sky is much different, and I'm not really willing to pay to find out more. If they integrate it into iOS someday, then sure, I guess I'll get to find out if it's much better. But it definitely seems like they have a lot more diagrams and analytics for you to dive into. But yeah, I guess this goes along with that old saying of like, in business, if your competitor is drowning, stick a hose in their mouth. This is Apple sticking that hose in their mouth, and it's spewing water that was accurately predicted to fall from the sky. So I apologize on behalf of the Apple Sheep Army here. I sincerely apologize to you Android fans who paid for the Dark Sky app or wanted to keep using this thing. This really sucks, and if I was in charge at Apple, if I was CEO, would not have done this. I think this is kind of mean. But you might disagree with me because some of you are bigger Apple Sheep than I am, so feel free to hit me up over on Twitter, join my Discord, and we can talk more about it there. This is your Apple Sheep here, and no, there's no April Fool's jokes for me. I hate today. You just can't believe anything. Do people enjoy April Fools? It's just, oh, you got me. I was excited, and now I'm not. Gee, thanks. You're all great. Thanks for fooling me. I'll see you in the next one.